go ahead and get started. So this is how we get started with writing the best AI content. It goes without saying that you need to do good keyword research. I need to grow your website authority. So doing good keyword research means that you're not just finding keywords that are low competition, because low competition doesn't always mean keywords that you can rank for. It's finding keywords that are related to your niche. It's finding keywords that are maybe up to date. Like let's say it's 2024 June and there's a new update within your niche, a new product, a new type of way of doing things, or some trending topic. You write about that topic, right? So you need to do good keyword research first to make sure that you can actually rank for the content in which you're trying to write for. And you also need to grow your website authority, right? A lot of website owners neglect the second part, which is growing their website authority. Backlinks can be a pain to get. It does take long, but it's very, very worthwhile. And it's going to become more and more worthwhile because think about it. Writing content is now very easy for anyone to do. I could start a site and I can write content using AI. So content is not going to be such a high ranking factor. Other things are going to be much better, such as your social signals, so how you're doing in other platforms, your backlink, your authority, how much websites are linking back to your websites, and how many people are staying on your website, clicking on your website, reading your content, and coming back to your sites. Those are things that you need to focus on. So you need to focus on making your website a hub of really, really good content that people continually want to read. So that's number one, is that you need to do good keyword research and you need to grow your website authority. So let's say you found a good keyword to write on. If you want to get the prompt, my last video actually had the prompt. So you can just go over to my last video and enter your email. But what I'll do for you guys, since you're watching the live video, I'll just link it into the description. So these are my up-to-date prompts. I am working on making this a little bit better and adding in even more prompts. So I have a newsletter which I send out each week, and each week we send out some new prompts. So I'll leave it in here. Hopefully it works well and you can actually click on that. Yeah, you can. Okay, cool. So that is my up-to-date prompts. So let's say you have good keyword research and you are growing your website authority. The first thing that you need to do is include up-to-date or local or new content if you can. So as I mentioned earlier, Google is always looking to satisfy the searcher's intent, and it's always looking for websites that are new, websites that are writing on new up-to-date information. So I write some content for some businesses, and I write for a mortgage company in Toronto. So what I would do is I would always keep track of mortgage news. So mortgage rate fall on positive inflation news 22 hours ago. Mortgage rates dips below 7%. So what I would do is I would find topics here that are new and up to date, and I can use that to write an article. So this is a really good article here. I can use a tool like Harpa AI, Command A, I believe. Oh, Control A. Yeah, Control A. And I can use Harpa AI and use any one of these models. Let's just say GPT-4. And I can tell it to extract the main information from this article. So I can use Harpa, or I can just simply go ahead and copy over the content. So whatever works, you can do that. The AI is really smart, so you don't actually have to necessarily use Harpa. You can just copy over the content. And then I would head over to Claude, because I'm really liking using Claude. I don't think I've done many tutorials in Claude. So once you open up Claude, head over to the API console. And then we're going to start prompting with Claude. So we're going to first just enter some information. You can enter it as it is. You don't need to format it. AI is very, very smart. So this is going to be information which we're going to write about. So I can then, let's say if I wanted to get even more information, I would copy over this topic. And I'll paste it into Google again. And I will get another article. And because we're working with Claude Opus, we have a very, very large input, so we can enter a lot of content. But do keep in mind that there is a sort of like cutoff. So if you put too much content, I would say maybe over like 5,000, 6,000 words, sometimes the AI doesn't really it's not able to read all of that information, actually include all of that information into the content. But if you're entering anywhere between 1 to 3,000 words, you should be okay. So this is 2,400 words. I think that's fine. That's more than enough. So what I'm going to do here now, and just before we get started, there's actually a pretty cool feature which allows you to generate a prompt based upon your inputs from Claude. Pretty cool feature. So if you're having troubles with prompt, it will actually generate the prompt for you. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter my prompt. So ideally, you want to also enter this prompt here, which is the system prompt, which tells it how to write SEO optimized content. So I'm just going to enter a little bit of that prompt, not the whole thing fully. We're going to copy this over. Then we're going to we're going to put this into Anthropic. And then what I'm going to do is now I'm going to enter our prompt for outline. So we want to write about the keyword, which is we can create our own topic if we like, but if you already have a topic, then obviously you can enter that topic. Falling in June 2024. Right, so now we're all set up. I'm going to tell it to also use the information I entered above when writing along with your own unique information. And that's very important for you to do so, because then the AI will know to use that information, but also add additional information. So you're not just copying over information from your competitor. Okay, so now we're getting our outline. So once that's being done, let's go ahead and look at the second point here. So number one is include up-to-date, local, or new content if you can. Number two is creating in-depth SEO optimized articles with lists, tables, images, and charts. So that's what we're doing right now. We're using our SEO prompts to make sure that we're writing in an SEO optimized format, and we're trying to include lists, tables, images, and charts. So our prompt already is going to include lists, tables. We're going to have to manually include images, and we're going to have to manually include charts as well. But that is the things that you need to do in order to make sure that your content will actually rank on Google, right? Because if I just went ahead and told the AI to write me an article about mortgage rates dropping, I wouldn't be able to get a good article, because first of all, it's not trained on information that's new and current. It's trained on information up to a certain cutoff point, and each AI tool is a little bit different. So if you're writing about things that happened within the past 2 months or current events, then you wouldn't be able to get good up-to-date content. So now what we're going to do is we're going to enter a prompt for the full article. Boom. I'm not going to tell it to write individually, because that just takes a little bit too long. But now that we're all set up, we're using Opus. I just increased the token length and I leave the temperature at 0. Run a prompt, release one variable. Interesting. Yep, and now as you can see, content is running. So again, once that's writing, let's go ahead and take a look at the third thing that you need to do, which is interlink, improve on-page SEO, and externally link. So we can actually tell Claude to include external links. And sometimes it includes pretty decent external links. Sometimes it doesn't. So I would be a little bit wary when using external links, because again, I find that sometimes it's good and sometimes it isn't. But if you wanted to, you can manually include external links, and you can manually include your internal links, because that really helps with your on-page optimization, right? So think about, if this is my blog, right? A big factor for Google is dwell time, how long people are staying on your website. So let's say this is my blog, and someone comes and they read an article, but I have no internal links. Then that means that the user may come onto my website, they may read an article, but then they just bounce and they dip, right? But then that means that I'm losing people easily when they come onto my site. So if I can have internal links to relevant and related articles, then it's most likely that when someone comes onto my site, they will then want to read another article that is relevant. So that allows me to have people staying on my website a little bit longer, which is a positive signal to Google, which allows me to then rank higher for keywords, build my authority, and overall just grow your website. So it's very, very important that you include internal links. Let's go ahead and check up on the article now. It should be finished. Okay, so it is finished. We're gonna add this to the conversation, and what we're gonna do now, we're not finished. We're going to expand the article. But this time we're going to use Sonnet. So Sonnet is another model from OpenAI, from Claude. It's a really, really powerful model. It's much cheaper and it's much faster. So as you can see, it's writing a lot faster than our previous model, which is Opus. I do think Opus is better. The content is really, really good from Opus. But Sonnet, once you set up the article with Opus, then you can use Sonnet to sort of expand on the article. And if you take a look at the prompt, I tell it to keep the same writing tone, same style, tables and links, expand this blog post to include more relevant content to the blog post topic that we're writing about. Right? So I tell it to keep the same information. I want you to stay how you are writing, but just give me more content, because the first article, if you take a look at this, I'm sure the first article was maybe like 1,400 words. Yeah, for sure. 1,600 words. Not bad, of course, but I think we can get something a little bit better. So this is already looking to be a much longer, more in-depth article. And this is the type of article, again, that you need to create if you want to rank on Google. Because we took the steps to include more up-to-date information, because we're using good prompts and we're using a very high quality AI writer, I would be very confident that this article would rank on Google. Keeping in mind that you have good domain authority, you're not a brand new website, I think you can do really well. If the content starts to write and then it stops, so you can see it stop mid-sentence, add it to the conversation and just tell it to continue writing. Boom, and it's going to continue writing. So it is a little bit of a longer process for sure, but you know, what's the point of blasting a bunch of content or just quickly creating content but none of it ranks? I'd rather take my time to write a few articles. Maybe instead of writing, you know, or posting 50 articles a month, I'm gonna post maybe 25, half of that. But those articles I know are going to be really, really high quality, because what I've been seeing with AI content on new sites is that sometimes, you know, you can start off, you can write a lot of content and the content can rank for a while. You can rank for hundreds of keywords and all of a sudden you can get de-indexed. So this is the first section of the article. Well, the first section that I wrote. This is over 2,700 words. So now let's go ahead and see if it's finished writing. Yep, so we have the conclusion here, added to the conversation. I'm gonna copy this over and then just paste it in. So mortgage rates are falling in June of 2024. This is an up-to-date article. We're in June right now. What it means for home buyers and refinancers. Introduction, understanding the mortgage rates, impact of falling mortgage rates, benefits, historical context. Look, we have some up-to-date information here, right? Because again, what we did was we fed the AI some information and we also get the source, which is really good. Factors contributing to the June 2024 mortgage drop, how to take advantage, case study with an actual table, FAQ, right? Like really, really good stuff here. So what I would do now, once the article is created, as I mentioned, we need to also include images into these articles if we want to write very, very high quality content. So what I could do now is I can tell Claude to create 3 image prompts for based on this blog post for images that we include. Okay, so I can also create 3 image prompts in which we can use. I'm going to use Opus again. Click run. Okay, so this is good. And we're going to head back over now to ChatGPT. Create this image. So as you can see, it is a little bit more time consuming for sure. I do agree with that. It is time consuming to create this article. But again, like, I don't want you to run into the issue of you know, ranking a bunch of content and then you getting de-indexed. I'll show you guys an example of what I mean. So this was a site that I was working on. And it was going really, really well. But as you can see here, let's do last 3 months for results. No. That's changes. Let's do last 30 days. Or let's just head over to the keywords and we can see here a month ago. So a month ago, we were ranking for 64 keywords. Right? It wasn't a crazy amount of keywords, but we were ranking for keywords. We're indexed on Google. And this is just Ahrefs. Ahrefs usually just doesn't have the most up-to-date information. So we were ranking on Google for these specific articles, but all of a sudden we had a crazy drop off and Google just de-indexed all of the articles. So now I have to work back up, re-index the articles, rewrite the articles, and pretty much get it back to where it needs to be. But that's because maybe we took a couple of shortcuts. We just created some articles that we blasted it using AI content. But I want you guys to keep in mind that blasting AI content does not work. You need to take the time to create really in-depth articles like I'm showing you guys in today's video. So this is a really, look at this image here. This is awesome. Like, yeah, we see some imperfections here, but whatever, who cares, right? Download that and you can use that within your article. So what I would do now is I would internally link, I would externally link, I would include images, I would include a video if you can for this specific article. That would be very helpful. And once you have your article done, you can then promote your blog post on other sites. So I'll show you guys quickly what this would look like if I were to upload this onto my site. So we'd head over to post, and then we'd add a new post. And now we're going to copy over the article. Paste that in there. You remove the intro if you like. We have the image, so let's see if we can add. Boom, we can add our image in there. Leave it as a draft. And if you wanted, we can just continue. I think Claude gave us some more ideas here. So we can continue this again. We can copy over another image and tell the AI to create that. And then we can also generate our title and our meta description using Opus. Create an SEO. Title and meta description. So you kind of have to use a couple of different tools. I would say first, you need to get a pretty good keyword research tool. You can use the Google Keyword Planner. I did a video on that before. And then you just need to use either Opus or GPT-4o. I don't really think you need to have a AI writing tool. Only tools I would really recommend is SEO Writing And once we are finished developing my tool, which is WordRocket, I would recommend that tool because it's going to be really, really good. Essentially, it'll be everything that I show you guys, but much more automated. So you will be able to write really in-depth articles quickly instead of going through this whole process, including images as well. So now that we have our description, I'm going to paste that in there. Let's save the draft and let's see what it actually looks like. Okay, so we have a nice image here. Okay, some nice tables, some pull quotes, looks really good. Case study, FAQ, list again, and a conclusion. This is solid. Like, this is a really, really good article. I would put this article against any other article that's on Google right now for this specific topic. So this is the process in which you need to follow if you want to create really good content. Let's take a look at the other image here. Again, another very solid image. Yes, some imperfections. You're gonna have that with AI. That's okay, but still very, very solid image. So that's what I would do. The last steps would be, you could probably, and it would be a good idea for you to promote the blog post on other websites, index your article, and then pray. So of course, that's just a funny little joke, but it is true. Sometimes you can do all of the best practices, but it doesn't mean that you will necessarily rank on Google. So if you don't know how to index your article, let me just publish this real quick. We'll update the permalink. So if you don't know what it means to index your article, you need to head over to the Google Search Console. And you need to first add a TXT file. So you enter your domain here if you haven't set it up before, and then you'll have a code for a TXT file. And then from that code, you need to go into your domain, wherever you bought your domain, GoDaddy, Namecheap, and then you need to add that that code into a TXT file under your domain. If you don't know how to do so, watch a couple of videos. It's not entirely difficult. So you need to then go over to your website. So I have my website here that is indexed on Google Search Console, and then I'm going to paste in. So what I did was I pasted in my domain, and I'm going to request indexing. And once that's done, it will be manually indexed. So if you're creating a lot of content, manually index your content, because it will make sure that your content is showing up on Google a lot quicker. Because you don't want to do all that work and then the URL is not even showing up on Google. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this workflow. I do believe that if you follow this workflow, you will be able to grow your sites. You will be able to write high quality content, and hopefully you wouldn't be able to get de-indexed or get any strikes by Google in the future. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this live video. If you did, let it be known. Give us a big thumbs up. If you have any questions, you can leave it into the live chat or just leave a comment and I can address it in the next live video. Thanks, guys. Take care, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.